The central plot of Breath of the Wild, which holds all the other threads together, is the journey of Princess Zelda herself. Last episode, we covered the smaller elements, which create a tapestry of interweaving stories that tell of a prosperous society that has been obliterated by the Great Calamity. These include the uncovering of the past to inform the present, the fact that the world itself is a character, and that the believable minor characters, each with their own lives, not only give players a sense that the world is alive, but reminds them what is at stake if they fail to defeat Calamity Ganon. If you haven't seen that video, I recommend you watch it, however it is not essential to understand this one. While everything we've talked about so far is absolutely important to the grand story of Breath of the Wild, it is Zelda herself that is the main focus of the narrative. Breath of the Wild is about Princess Zelda herself. Unlike many others, in this game, Zelda feels like a real person. She has dreams, she struggles, and she ultimately sacrifices herself for the sake of Hyrule. It is no coincidence that most of the memories, the way that the game tells its central plot, follows the princess. Through the memories and the diary entries, it is discovered that this iteration of Zelda is, as lead artist Hiroshito Shinoda puts it, a sensitive person at an age where she is struggling to find her place. She is relatively carefree and kind, and is a scholar at heart. But due to her lineage, she, along with Link, are the only people that can seal Ganon away. Through unlocking all the memories, a rich narrative exploring her insecurities and fears becomes uncovered. We will go through the story from start to finish and hopefully explain how amazing it really is. Let's go. The memories and diary entries make it clear that as soon as Calamity Ganon's return becomes inevitable, Zelda is tasked with unlocking the sacred power that is said to flow through her veins. The problem is that her mother, the only person who could teach her, has passed away. This leaves us with a girl who has the entire kingdom's survival thrust upon her. This, in addition to her seeing Link as everything she wishes she was, leads her to lash out at him, as seen in the fifth memory. Despite her frustrations, Zelda's determination is shown time and time again. Urbosa even recalls to Link how Zelda passed out in the freezing water while trying to unlock her powers. However, over time she opens up to Link, and he in turn tells her of his own insecurities, such as how he is silent because of all the pressure placed on him to defeat Ganon. Link and Zelda's friendship, or relationship, I see you the Link shippers, begins when Link saves her life. After that moment, they form a bond, and the memories show them getting closer. The 12th memory shows Zelda's interest in the Sheikah technology, but also reveals that a large part of her insecurities are a result of her father's overly crushing expectations and dismissive personality. You can sort of see where the king is coming from in wanting her to study solely on her powers. The kingdom is at stake after all, but this sort of treatment suppresses Zelda's identity, and it is implied to be at least part of the reason why she does not unlock her powers early on. Things get worse though, and Zelda falls more into a pit of despair when she cannot unlock her powers, saying,
"Please, just tell me. What is it? What's wrong with me?"
Then, on Zelda's 17th birthday, while leaving the final sacred spring, the final chance she has in unlocking her powers, Calamity Ganon awakes. They are too late. Hyrule is overrun, and nearly everyone she holds dear dies. The hero and the princess flee, but they are hunted down, and just as Link is about to be shot, Zelda jumps in front of him and her power is unlocked at last. Even this is futile though, as Link dies from his wounds. Desperate, Zelda tasks the Sheikah with taking the hero to the Shrine of Resurrection, where he will hopefully awake in 100 years' time. In the meantime, the princess goes to face Ganon alone, and is locked in a century-long battle until Link can finally come and finish the job.
The fate of Hyrule rests with you!
Flash forward 100 years, and as we unlock these memories, it gives the whole game more weight. A common complaint with Breath of the Wild is that the story means nothing, because it all happened in the past. I disagree. While it would have been great to have more story missions in the present, the memories slowly start to inform the player of what has been lost, and what the stakes are if we fail to save Hyrule. When Zelda calls out to Link in the beginning of the game, Link, she made the border stop. She simply feels like a princess yelling an objective marker, but by the end, it's a long lost friend, beckoning Link to come and finish the job that they started a century ago.
Castle. It is now time for you to defeat Ganon.
Finally, after a long journey, Link weakens Calamity Ganon enough for Zelda to be able to finish the job and seal away the beast yet again. Zelda proves that she is the main character of the story by being the one to finish Ganon. Then Zelda asks if you remember her, and if you complete all the memories and do in fact remember the past, you get a final cutscene where Zelda finally smiles and is content. We then zoom out to a shot of a group of silent princesses blossoming, flowers that are meant to represent Zelda herself. So while you can think of Breath of the Wild's story as just Link waking up, getting yelled at a bit, and then defeating Ganon, it will be criminal to do so. The game is non-linear, and as such, so is the story. It's not one single line from start to end, but all the little things in between that make the story what it is. Next time Breath of the Wild's story is brought up in conversation, think of the connections that are drawn from combining the past and the future. Think of the world itself, full of secrets. Think of the many NPCs with their own little tales, and of course, think of Zelda in her struggle. To discuss the story without these elements would be a crime. I have to say, from where I'm sitting, Breath of the Wild story is looking pretty damn good. And with that, this two-part series that I've been working on in the background of all my other videos since almost the beginning of this channel is finally over. It's actually a bit of a moment. I just have to take a bit of a breather and realise, wow, that's done. The Breath of the Wild, why the story is great video is over. It's a concept that I've always wanted to do since I started the channel, because it's pretty common in the Zelda community to hate on Breath of the Wild's story. Now, with good reason to some extent, but I always felt that there was an underappreciated part of it, and I wanted to bring that to light. If you understand the story of Breath of the Wild even just a little bit differently now because of these videos, then I have done my job. If you want to see more videos like this, then make sure you subscribe if you're a new viewer, and if you're a returning viewer, then, well, first of all, you're awesome, and second of all, that's pretty good. With all that being said though, my name is Jasper. This has been Legends of Jasper, your up until recently very inconsistent scheduled YouTuber, and I will see you all very soon. Thank you and goodbye.